Before we set money goals in 2026, let's talk about a real problem. It's a brand new year, new calendar, new goals, same bank account stress. Some of y'all already wrote save money, get out of debt, invest, and by February, life says, that's cute. But before we start blaming ourselves again, let's slow down, because here's the truth, there's nothing out there. Most people don't have money problems. They have an unidentified money problem. And you can't fix what you won't admit. So today, we're going to do something different. Before budgeting like a robot, before planning like a Pinterest board, we're going to figure out what your real issues with money actually is, and then learn how to plan like a boss without shame, fear, or burnout. Welcome back to Diverse Decisions. So before we even talk numbers, I want you to understand something. The way you use money isn't random. It's a response. Money is not just behavior. It's not just mindset. Money is a relationship. Let me tell you why I know this is real. There was a point in my life where I was making more money than I ever had before. And somehow I was more stressed than I ever was before. I get paid, feel relief for about 12 minutes, then immediately think, all right, don't mess this up. I was checking my bank account like I owed myself money. Refreshing the app, closing it, opening it again, like the numbers were going to change out of fear or out of nowhere. And the wild part is, my bills were paid. No emergencies, nothing was actually wrong. But my body didn't know that. That's when it hit me. I didn't have a math problem. I didn't need another budgeting app. I didn't need to hustle harder. I had a relationship with money built on strictly survival. Money wasn't just currency to me. It was pressure, like somebody was holding it down on my chest. It was, don't mess up. It was, what if it disappears? It was, stay ready so I didn't have to get ready. So every time I tried to plan, my nervous system was like, planning? Nah, we react around here. The shift didn't come from making more money. The shift came when I learned how to sit with money without panic. How to plan without feeling like I was tempting fate. How to stop treating money like it was about to leave me. That's when things actually changed for me. That's when, and this is what I'm telling you, your money habits make sense once you understand what they're protecting you from. So before we talk goals, and I mean of 2026, let's ask yourselves, what did money mean to you growing up? Who taught you this? And like any relationships, it was, shaped over time. At some point in your life, money kept you safe when you were 5. Or money made you anxious, or money meant survival. So when people say, just be disciplined, just budget, just invest, they're skipping the most important part, because if money once meant stress, fear, or pressure, your nervous system learned to react, not plan. So we're not just fixing budgets here, we're updating old survival software for a new life. First admit, yeah, we have a problem, and let's be honest. If money was a person, none of us wouldn't say we're struggling. We'd be like, we're fine. But that's not the case. Meanwhile, money is standing here like, are you sure about that? But let's be honest. Just admitting the problem doesn't mean that they're bad with money. It just means you're trained to survive, not strategize. You were reacting, not choosing. You were never shown a system that fit your life. That is not a character flaw. That's a cause and effect issue. And we all know what happens when there's a cause and effect issue. So let's break this down. These are the cause. You grew up where money meant tension from everyone, arguments, scarcity, and don't touch that. Don't mess with that. We can't afford that. And So money became emotional. Now, here's the effect from all of that. Now, as an adult, you avoid checking your bank accounts. Makes you nervous. You overspend when stressed. That's why your Amazon account is overdraft. You're great at emergencies, but bad at consistency. Not because you're irresponsible, because your brain learned money equals pleasure. What that looks like, but it might not be real, is you don't check your bank account. You fill your bank account and it hurts. It's a vibe thing. Your money is low and your pacing drops. Your Amazon cart, again, is filled. Your stress raises. That's not budgeting. That's a financial vibe. You get the vibe? Avoidance isn't peace. It's delayed stress with interest. We all know about interest. Here's 4 problems we face with avoidance. And guess what number 1 is? Avoidance. It's a problem that you don't track because awareness feels unsafe. Number 2. This disappearing money problem, you make enough, but money leaves without permission. No clarity equals no control. And number 3, the crisis-only planner. You move fast when things break, but struggle when things are calm. That's surviving wiring. The fear to start is number 4. And that problem, it won't get better, but you're scared to doing it wrong. That's not laziness. That's lack of guidance. And we don't like that lack of guidance. Yeah, but before we keep going, if any part of this made you nod your head like, dang, why didn't nobody tell me this sooner? Do me a favor, tap that like button, not for the algorithm, but so YouTube knows this conversation matters. And if you're tired of learning money lessons the hard way through overdraft fees, bad advice, or trial and error with interest, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's think of it like this. Subscribing is basically saying, yeah, I like financial education without the stress, shame, or judgment. We're tired of that already. No suits, no yelling, no pretending. We're all started at the same place. All right, let's keep going. Now, this is how we're going to plan like a grown-up. The right way. Grown-ups don't plan money like it's the enemy. They plan like behavior tells a story and systems support change. So here's how we would do that. You want to name the relationship. You need to ask these simple questions. Do I avoid money? Do I react emotionally? Do I freeze or over control? Awareness is the first raise. And we need to plan for real life. You know, the grown-up way. See, grown-ups, we assume life will happen. Emotions will show up. Mistakes will be made. So they build. So this is where we need to start going. We build buffers, flexibility, grace, categories. And you know, sometimes perfection isn't broke behavior. Progress is just a wealthy behavior. And we need to give dollars a job. Yes, even the fun ones. You gotta go to the movies sometime. So money without direction creates anxiety. Money with assignments creates peace. Bills, savings, investing, and again, fun. If your plan doesn't enjoy and you are just out of it, your nervous systems won't trust you. So let's do this again. Bosses don't say I'm terrible with money. They say, that's interesting. That's what happened. Then we adjust. And that's what we need to do. We adjust, then we grow. And you know what? I think so far you're on the right track. So as we step into 2026, understand this. You don't need more shame. You don't need louder advice. You don't need to punish yourself into discipline. All you need is a new relationship with money, a system that fits you, and permission to learn without fear, because money isn't just dollars, it's a decision. And this year, we're making better ones. 2026, let's go. And until next time, make money make sense and make every dollar a decision.